Losing money doesn't cost you anything. I want to give a huge shout out to Coffeezilla, who actually called out our good friend Benny. Benny, remember I played him on yesterday's show about the market, not panicking? Well, it's okay to panic a little bit, okay? Because when it's your bottom line, it's pretty bad. And look, I have to say that Coffeezilla is one of the dauntless few who actually been calling out scammers and other people. Let's go ahead and pull up this video here because this shows overall, a hypocrisy on both sides.
Right now, people are worried. The stock market's crashing. The crypto markets are crashing. There's a lot of YouTubers making thumbnails like, it's over. It's already ended. The recession's here. Oh, wait, that last one wasn't a YouTuber. It's BlackRock's Larry Fink. But I do have to say, there's a different way to look.
When BlackRock is panicking, I don't know, maybe a little smile comes along my face.
Look at this that I wish more people would embrace. This is brought to you, by the thought leader, Benny Johnson on X.
Losing money costs you nothing.
Oh, God.
There it is.
This is just the reality of life. Like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact, it builds quite a bit of character.
What?
No. Losing money hurts. When you lose money, you cry. When I lose money, I cry. I saw Due Dissidents cover one of the guys from Barstool, how he lost like $7 million. Listen. If that happened to me in one day, I lose $7 million like that. I think that would mentally break me. If I had $7 million and poof, it disappeared and there was no, seriously, investing in stock markets, you got to know what you're doing. And I get it. Hey, it's a game. It's a system that I'm not built for. Same thing for that Bitcoin stuff or e-currency. I ain't built like that. If I got money and then all of a sudden it goes away, I don't know what I would think. But losing money does not build character. Sometimes it could break character.
What an amazing way to look at this. Don't worry about losing money. It's actually building your character, and it doesn't cost you anything, except for the money part. I guess it does cost that. Now, I was so taken aback by I've never seen anybody try something like this. So I thought, well, at least he's ideologically consistent. He probably says this every time the stock market crashes, right? Like when it crashed under Biden or Harris, that he said the same thing, right?
It's bloody Black Monday. Holy.
Herb Green, you get that abysmal feeling in your gut when you lose a significant amount of money. Oh, my God. Oh, abysmal. Yeah. Herb Green. You're hitting the nail on the head, my friend.
Holy moly. The Kamala crash is here.
Kamala needs to get in front of a camera today. People are losing their homes today. People are losing their fortunes today. People are losing their futures today. People are losing their 401ks today. This is shaping up to be one of the worst market days in American history.
Well, so I guess when the other side, they lose you money, it's terrible. People need to speak up now. When it's your guy that you shill for, all of a sudden it's, hey, this builds character. Have you really even lost money when you lost money? So look, it brings me to an interesting point. There's sort of two breakdowns of camps when talking about this. It's very interesting to watch. I think the very normal response is this is kind of insane and we seem to be hurtling ourselves into a recession of our own making. But there is a streak of people who are determined to flip this into like a 500 IQ chess play. You need to thank the White House for doing this. I think it's interesting to watch. And Benny Johnson is just one symptom of it. We also have this Fox News host saying something very similar.
Delivering. And you know what? I don't really care about my 401k today.
Oh, says you. But I have audience members who care about their 401k. I've been having private conversations with other people who have called me in regards to this panic. Hey, Kit, what's going to happen? Because I'm worried. I have people close to me. You could say you don't care about your 401k. Hey, folks. Hey, folks, aren't you cared about how, this will trickle on down to you? And no, not the rain. This is going to be nothing but the disgusting kind of liquid, okay? Because this is all going to be trickling down on us. But yet Fox News is going to tell you, I don't care about it. You don't care about, oh, good. You got the privilege in your ivory tower not to care about it. The rest of us poor folk, we do.
You know what? Not that I can afford it. Not that it isn't important.
Well, wait, you can't. You definitely can't afford it if you're saying that. Look, I appreciate the sudden restraint on worrying about the economy, but I do feel like it's a little bit disingenuous in the moment. You do have people who are being honest about this, people who have been supportive of tariffs, which I think is interesting to watch. We have the other Lord of Finance, the guy you should definitely listen to all the time, Jim Cramer, who says he feels like a sucker.
Over and over again, the president said, listen, it's going to be reciprocal. So you do it, we do it. And that was going to be so good. And I really believed in it. And I feel like a sucker tonight because I am not a free trader and I do not believe in free trade. And I was just as tough, if not tougher than his people, but they screwed it up and they did it a totally ill-advised way. And I was very let down as someone who really, truly believes that free trade is awful for the American working person. This is what they came up with. Geez, come on, have some gumption, have some math.
I mean,
That's right. Have some math. That's what Jim Cramer says. He's a tariff guy himself. So it's interesting to contrast him with sort of this other side of our media sphere who are kind of determined to say, this is actually good for us. Just don't look at your own 401k. You didn't even lose money. We even have billionaires like Bill Ackman, who has been.
Hold on, John Michael, I hope. Oh, dude, please tell me. Please tell me that's not real, man. I lost over 200K in my 401k, FYI, that hurt. Oh, God. I am so sorry for your pain. I am really, yeah. John Michael, losing money costs you nothing except your retirement, quality of life, your house, etc. Thank you again for your generosity, John Michael. And I hope, oh God, that is beyond painful. I'm pretty sure. And again, but here's the thing. I'm hearing other people talk about the pain of what they're going through.
Been famously supportive of the administration. And he's complaining right now on Twitter that we're on track to eliminate capital gains in 2025. There are better approaches to reducing taxes than wiping out gains. All the while, the response from our commander-in-chief appears to be, hey, hold the line, don't panic, don't be weak, don't be stupid, don't be a panickin'. A new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. But not everyone seems to be doing this, even people who are explicitly pro-Trump, which I think is interesting to watch. You not only have Jim Cramer, you also have Dave Portnoy. He says this.
Don't look at your 401k. Since when do people care about the stock market? That's bullshit. I would rather people on the right who support Trump, no matter what he does, what he says. Like when you say stuff like that, to me, it's like, well, Trump could cut someone's head off. You're like, well, did he really? Like, let's call a spade a spade. Everybody has the right to panic and party and be worried about the stock market, their 401k, their portfolio. Don't suddenly be like, oh, don't look at your portfolio. Don't worry about it. Bullshit.
Yeah, Bull, you got to look at it. Come on, be serious here.
Everybody looks at their portfolio. Everyone looks at their stock market.
Yep.
Everybody looks at how much money is in the bank.
He's got a point. Me and Dave haven't always seen eye to eye during his crypto meme coin phase. Not a fan. But he's right about that, which is that, look, this guy has not been quiet about his support of Trump specifically, but he's panicking like everybody else. But I think the bigger question is, are we just panicins when we do it for one side of the aisle, right? We all screamed when the market crashed under the other guy. We're not suddenly allowed not to scream when the other side goes. That's just what I find so weird about this thing going around. People telling you, don't care when your money's, getting affected. Don't care when your financial system is hurt. Don't worry when you've lost your job. And it's like, no, it mattered under the last guy, and it matters under you too. In fact, I'll leave you with this comment on Trump's post on X. He says, I am behind you. This is a guy who supports Trump. Even though I lost my job supporting you, not sure what my future will bring me, but at 58, it's a hard start over. Most employers pass on people my age unless it's minimum wage, which I just can't do. And to that, I have to say, is this part of the plan? Is this part of the have we thanked you yet? Like, is that still where we're at? So yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you in the next one.
Great. Great, folks. So, what can we take away from this? What can we learn from this? What can we see from the madness that is being bestowed upon us? What can we learn from the overall insanity that's being put on Hard Lens Media or everybody else that's been covering the story? Everyone, because all of us are going to be affected by this full-on economic disaster that Trump is potentially putting on us. Because again, right now the markets are rebounding. Great, that's for today. But what happens tomorrow or the day after tomorrow? And I think it's important for us to also point out, consistency is key. I think we're all blinded by the partisan politics in which, if my side does it, it's fine. When your side does it, it's the end of the world. And I think there's going to be a turning point where, look, Trump, like any other president, is going to be viewed, with the good and the bad. But I think a lot of the people who really went to bat for his campaign in 2024, I get it. There was excitement and energy. Joe Biden ran a terrible campaign, and later on, Kamala Harris, she absolutely ran a god-awful, terrible campaign. There's no debate about this. Yes, Kamala ran a terrible campaign. That happened. That's a thing 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 that happened. No one's going to argue that. But what I would say to everyone that's going to be involved in this, consistency is key. And when you have people saying, yeah, don't panic and don't look at your portfolio. No, look at your portfolio. Look at what's happening to you, because no matter what, across the political spectrum, we're all going to be hurt by this. I hope that there's an eventuality, a cool down point about these tariffs. I think with all the stress that we're under, both economically, socially, politically, mentally, I think a lot of people are tired of wars in general. I mean, hell, we got 2 wars still happening, one in Gaza, another one still in Ukraine. I don't see any ceasefire or peace in our time. And now what? Trade wars with other countries? What could go wrong? This is how people lose their mind. This is how people panic. This is how people stress out, because we're all going to be affected by this. Losing money doesn't build character. It destroys people. Even those that have no skin in the game, we're all affected by it. And I think we remember overall the recession of 2008. If nothing stopped, are we going into a depression? What happens when we can't buy food or put gas in our cars or pay our medical bills? What happens? What happens? What happens? Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow.